Hi everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie's Cards. Thank you so much for joining me today. Finally back in my craft room. I've been away on holiday, so I'm finally getting back in there and getting back into the swing of things. So I'm so happy for you to join me today. I'm creating this just plain simple card using some different products today. I've got the Hello Bluebird Flower Friends stamp set, and I also have the coordinating dies for that one. I've got the MFT Watercolor Wash Freeform Stencil. And then I've pulled out this Fawn Fall Fling paper pad. I'm not actually using it in the card, but I'm using it to help me with my color combinations today. So I chose that kind of white background with the kind of fall colors on it. And I picked out some Copic markers that matched that color palette. This is an idea that I've got from Christy Gets Crafty. She often uses paper pads in her crafting, and she often coordinates her colouring with the colours in the paper pad. And I was lacking a little bit of inspiration today for my colours, so that's what I decided to do, just to pull out a paper pad and look at the colours and match up my Copic markers to help me come up with a really nice, well-coordinating colour palette. Most of the time I don't have any trouble thinking about colours. I know pretty much what I want to use, but it's been a while since I've been in my craft room. So I decided that this was a good way to help me, and it really did kind of make everything coordinate and work well together. So for my bunny, I'm using E53, 51 and E50, and then some R20 for the nose, the ears, and to add a little cheek as well. These are my favourite colour combinations for a bunny, and they're kind of my go-to ones. So this doesn't come from the paper pad, these colours. These are just ones that I use generally for a rabbit. But now I'm going to go into the ones that were inspired by the paper pad. So B01, B000, and B000. It's this nice, soft, pastel-y blue, but I really liked the little pop of colour it gave against all the kind of more oranges and corals and yellows that are in the paper pad. So I decided to do her little dress in this colour, and I thought it looked really, really pretty. So I'm not particularly good at colouring in clothing. I never know quite where to put my shadows, but I'm just kind of going in with my darkest marker, laying in a kind of shadow where I think it should go, and then blending out towards my lightest. I did do 2 coats with this because I wanted to add a little bit more shade in various parts, and then just blend it out again until I got a nice smooth blend. I left the collar and the button because I'm going to go in with a different colour combination for those. And I decided to use for that YR02, YR00, and YR000. So just adding a little bit of colour to that. And excuse my voice, I have been sick again. I've got bronchitis. I'm not having a great year for health at the moment, so bear with me. I am starting to feel better, but I think I've just not had a great run of it. I got a little bit sick on holiday, and I haven't been able to shift it, but I've got some medication now, so hopefully I can start to feel better and start to feel more myself. So excuse the croaky voice, I do apologise. So for the little trailer, not really sure what to call that, I'm using R17, R14 and R12, which are these kind of corally red colours, and this was again inspired by the paper palette. That R12 is quite a big contrast, so I did go in and do 2 coats with these just to kind of get that blend nice and even, and the R12 so it didn't look quite so stark against the other 2 colours. For the little wagon wheels, I'm using N8, N6, and then I did pull in some N4 as well. And I'm going to use those same colours on the little bees. So I'm going to go and jump up to the bees next to do those with the same colours while I've got them out. So there's only a tiny, tiny bit. I did use all 3 colours, but it's pretty tiny colouring. So just adding a little bit of the N4 just to the very centre of that middle stripe on them. Once I've done that, I'm going to move on to my yellows, which I'm going to use YR23, 21, and, oh sorry, I forgot the wings. I'm just using that B quadruple 0 for the wings, and I'm just adding a touch of colour to the base of the wing and then kind of letting it fade out to white. Then I'm going in with these yellows, YR23, 21, and 20. And again, it's a very small area on these little bees to colour in, so just kind of touching it really with the point of my marker, just to add a little bit of colour and then blending out. But I think they're so sweet. I love this little trail of bees. I think they're gorgeous. For my greens, I'm using YG67 and YG63. So I'm just going in and doing all of my leaves that colour. There's only a very small area actually with the leaves, so there's not too much to colour with this combination. And then for my flowers, I did go back with those YR02, 00, and 000. And I'm kind of choosing it just randomly a few flowers to colour in that combination. And then I'll go in with my yellows again, that YR23, 21, and 20 to colour in the rest of the flowers. So I just thought that this turned out really, really pretty. As I say, very soft colour palette, and I really liked it. And it was kind of nice, as I say, to get that inspiration from the paper pad and not have to think too hard myself. My brain's still on holiday mode, so I need to kind of shake myself out of it and get back into the swing of things. But this was a nice way to ease myself back into the craft room. So again, just choosing some flowers. Initially, that one, the kind of bigger one with the kind of center flower and then the outer flower, I thought about doing a different color, but I decided just to keep it all yellow. So I did the inside yellow first, and then I decided I would just go ahead and do the outside the same color as well. And then I'm going to use the darkest YR02 marker to colour in the centre of all of the flowers. And again, it's just a tiny, tiny part, so you can't see a great deal of it. Once that was done, I'm going to show you against, I brought out my white Sakura Jelly Roll pen and added some highlight details. Again, this is something that I like to do when I colour my images, and I did just add a little bit. I mean, most of the flowers and things are a bit small, but I did add a little dot of white to those where I could. And then I took out my black Sakura Jelly Roll pen and just went over the bunny's eyes and over the little whiskers where I had kind of gone over with the white, just so that they stood out again. And then I'm just going to show you that compared to the paper pad so you can see the colours, and I think it turned out nicely. So now I have my watercolour wash stencil, and I've taken a 5.5 by 4.25 inch Bristol Smooth cardstock panel, and I've laid that down, put my stencil over top, and I'm using some Concord and 9th ink today. So this is Concord and 9th Sprout ink. I really like these inks because they're very, very soft. Obviously, you can blend them to make them darker, but I wanted quite a soft look, so I really like these, and I just laid in a very gentle wash of colour today, so nothing too harsh. So that was Sprout. Now I'm going in with Parsley just to add a little bit of a darker colour to the bottom. Again, if you want to make these really dark, you definitely can, but if you're just wanting a nice light wash of colour like I was today, then just a little bit blended on, and they just look so beautiful. They're really buttery inks. They turn out really, really nice. So peel the kind of tape up. I just laid that down as a bit of a ground, and now I'm going to mask off the bottom part of my card, and I'm going to go in with some Grapefruit ink. Again, this is a very soft peachy colour, kind of really pretty. I don't know how to describe it. Peachy, grapefruity, but very, very soft and subtle. So again, just blending that up till I'm happy with it. And then I'm going to come in with a darker colour, which is Sorbet. It's just slightly darker. And that's the other thing I really like about these inks. They coordinate so nicely together. They have a lot of shades that are just kind of slightly darker than the next one. So it really makes for a nice blend. And once I'm happy with that, I get the big reveal, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. So I've just got a bit of a sky and a bit of a grass area, and my little images are just going to pop on there like that. So I'm just placing everything out so I can figure out where my sentiment's going to go. And I'm going to use the sentiment from that Flower Friends stamp set, which says, flowers are like friends, they bring colour to your world. And I thought that was really sweet. So I've got a piece of Aqua Sky Concord and Onyx cardstock, which I have cut to 5.5 by 4.25. I really love the colours of the Concord and Onyx cardstock, but I find it a little bit thin to use as a card base. So I'm placing that onto a piece of Lawn Fawn 110-pound white cardstock, and I've just stamped the inside just with a couple of flower pots from that same stamp set. I haven't put a sentiment on the inside, I've just left it blank. Now I'm going to place my Bristol Smooth cardstock down on top. Now I did trim off just 1/8 of an inch all the way around, so I had a little border all the way around the edge, so you can see that Aqua Sky cardstock just as a background. And I chose that Aqua Sky because I thought it worked nicely with the little dress of the bunny. It brought that blue colour in. So I've just laid that down flat with just some glue, and now I'm just going to lay my images down flat on top. Just where I want them. So a very clean and simple card today, but I think it turned out really, really sweet, and I think it would make somebody smile if they received it. I'm very happy with how the colour palette turned out. Using that pattern paper was a really good idea, and I think it kind of made everything coordinate really nicely together, and I'm very happy with it. So a nice, clean and simple card. I hope you enjoyed this one today. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you thought, and please do subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you come back again. I've left a link to another video that you might enjoy here as well. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.